Hey everyone, welcome to the College Lens podcast. I'm Alokika and this is Gavin.
Hey everyone, I'm Gavin. Here at the College Lens, our goal is to target college isolation by bringing different perspectives and journeys that allows listeners to relate and feel a little less alone. Just a reminder, we are not professionals. We're here to listen just like you.
And we really quickly just wanted to thank Aspire Skill Development for supporting us. Now, off to the pod. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? This is the College Lens. I'm Alokika with your co-host Gavin. And today we have another awesome guest speaker with us, Grace Trujillo. Today we're gonna be basically talking about all things freshman year. Like what, because we all are freshmen and we're all business majors, and we're gonna talk about like what people don't tell us when we come to college. So, Grace, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. My name is Grace. I'm a business student at the University of Colorado Boulder Leeds School of Business. I'm originally from Highlands Ranch around the Denver metro area. In my free time, I love to hike, run, um, go camping, all things Colorado, all things outdoors. So yeah, that's me.
What are your favorite camping or hiking spots?
I'll go national park. My favorite national park is Grand Teton National Park, and I'm going again this summer, and I'm so excited. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Gavin, do you have any good favorite ones?
I will be honest, this will be a controversial opinion. I am not a big hike person. I come from California, and so I'm really big on sleeping on the beach. I'll
Oh,
go on
good.
runs, but moving to Colorado is not the best choice because everyone goes on hikes, and I'm like, oh, I'll stay home and do some homework. So I'm
No,
not a
you know
huge
what?
hiker.
You know what? You say that now, but you just need to start, because like once you
Mhm.
start, it's like addicting. And like
Okay,
us Coloradans are kind of judging you right now, but you need to redeem yourself.
I'm
So
judging you.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. I'll go on a couple
okay.
hikes. I'll have to do one 14er before I
Yes.
graduate, and then I'll come back and I'll give my final opinion.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
Yeah. My favorite area. Okay, I talked about this in like I think last episode or the episode before, but I love Aspen. I can talk about Aspen day and night.
Oh, I love
Uh,
Aspen too.
have you been to Maroon Bells?
I have not.
Literally. Ugh, guys, what are you doing? You guys
I'll
need to
go, I'll go,
come
I'll
to
go.
Maroon Bells. Okay, it is one of my favorite spots. But okay, kind of like transitioning from that. What? Oh yeah, what is your major? Have you decided yet?
So I'm doing three like emphases. So I'm doing finance, accounting, and management, probably in the like entrepreneurship realm. So yeah.
I am very similar. I'm finance, business admin, and accounting. So pretty much the
Nice.
exact same thing. I
Cool.
have always been pretty interested in it, but how did you find out about the whole finance business? What did you find interesting?
Yeah, so I did FBLA and DECA in high school, and like part of the requirements for those is that we had to like be in business classes in order to be in those clubs. So I took a bunch of like I first started like high school level, and then my school had the option to take like concurrent enrollment college classes
Mm,
within business. So I just fell in love, and yeah.
I'm over here sitting like I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's okay. It's
You're
okay.
good.
It's okay. I'm waiting for the mods to happen and maybe then it'll click. And for those who don't know what mods are, do you want, oh, actually, you're doing it right now. Like you're
I
starting
am doing
to
it.
talk about it. Do you want to tell people what mods are?
Yeah. So in the Leeds curriculum, I'm like ahead. So I'm like a first year student, but I'm ahead credits wise. So your sophomore year, you take um these classes called the mods, and they're basically 6 to 8 week crash courses on all of the areas of emphasis that you can do. So there's like accounting, finance, marketing, operations management, information management and analytics, and organizational behavior. And then the next semester you take base, which is applied semester experience, and then you take business law, strategy and entrepreneurship, uh, ethics, and one more, but I forgot it. So they're really fast paced, and they're really hard to keep up with. So it's a very challenging curriculum.
Mhm.
Um, But if you love what you're doing, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot, but I bet it'll really prepare you for graduation once you're out.
Yeah,
And once you get into the workforce, you're going to be just on top of the game.
yeah, for sure.
Do you know what you're planning to do after graduation? I mean, I know we're all freshmen, but you can always dream, you know?
Yeah, so I've had like a couple encounters with like consulting firms. And I think it's really cool. And next semester, I think I'm gonna join LSG, which is or not LSG, um, LCG, which
LCG,
is yeah, Leeds
that got
Consulting
me
Group.
excited.
Yeah, I was like, oh, but yeah, so I think that would be super cool because it just kind of encompasses like all areas of business. Um, and yeah, I think it'd be super fun. So that's what I'm
I
leaning
think,
towards.
yeah, I think we're really like lucky to have Leeds be such a place full of opportunities because
Yes.
we have like companies and recruiters in the building like on a daily basis. Like we
Mm-hmm.
have like tabling and stuff like that. I don't know how it is for you over there at CCU, Gavin, but we have like we're like always like on the go with like companies and like recruiters and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
making sure you like put your best self out there like basically every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a great thing about most universities with great business programs is there'll be tabling and networking events pretty consistently. I know I've had a bunch even just this semester,
Mhm.
but sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed. Like I go into a networking event and I just think to myself, there's so many people here with so many different like backgrounds, perspectives, so many different like places to work. And like that can feel overwhelming to me, but I know in the end it's a great opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And I think Alokika, you can tell me if you agree, but
Mhm.
I feel like at Leeds especially, there's a very competitive atmosphere here. And so those networking events and like trying to get internships and like excelling in your classes, it's all very overwhelming. Um, and you can feel kind of isolated from the rest of the group when you're not like when you don't think that you're excelling as much as they are. Um, so that's definitely something to get used to, but I kind of for me personally, I had to realize that I it doesn't like define my worth if I'm like if I did bad on a test or if I
Hmm.
haven't had as many internship interviews or stuff like that.
Yeah, I completely agree. That was literally me fall semester. Like, okay, fall semester was for just like it was just very rough for
Bad.
me.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And I know like Grace and I were talking earlier, and she was also like, yeah, it was not it for her. So I think like college isolation can like I always say like college isolation comes from so many different angles. Like not everybody just goes through the same like experience of college isolation or like people because when people think of college isolation, they think like, oh, like new to college, like you're away from your family. Yes, but there's so many different aspects of that, like competition. Like us as business students, it's a very competitive industry itself. So the fact that like our generation, there's gonna be like AI, there's gonna be like all these different technologies that we have to literally compete against as well with human beings is just crazy. So
Yeah.
I completely agree. I completely
Mhm.
agree. What are your thoughts on this, Gavin?
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely the competitive nature of business, but also at the same time, you're expected to be different than everybody else in a
Uh-huh.
way where you stick out, but you're also expected to make a lot of connections and know everyone. And so at the same time, you're supposed to stand alone by yourself and also be with a lot of other people in order to have connections and find new opportunities. And so it's a really weird balance that feels like it contradicts itself sometimes. So that's
Yeah.
For
what
sure.
that's kind of what I've been feeling, and trying to do both at the same time has been difficult, truthfully. I don't know how
For
Grace
sure.
feels about that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just hard to like find your balance, find what's right for you. And that was kind of why I think my fall semester was so challenging,
Hmm.
much more challenging than I thought it would be because I thought that this whole idea of isolation comes from like socially. And
Mhm.
I made all these great friends at the beginning of the semester, but I was like still struggling like in my classes. I was struggling because I had never had any academic challenges before I came to college. I
Mhm.
could always get A's and B's and not study and it was fine. Um, so but I think the thing was that those people didn't know that I was struggling, and that's what made me feel isolated from my peers. So I think opening up about it and talking about it and getting under out of your comfort zone is really important for that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good hindsight to be able to notice that you that having like you could be surrounded by great people, but if you don't reach out, if you don't ask, they might not ever know what is going on. And if you're feeling isolated, or even if you're feeling great, like if you don't communicate, then other people don't always know.
Yeah.
What are some ways that you kind of like, or actually, let's go back to the challenges. So you said you were struggling academically, which is definitely a different like realm for you, sounds like. But what were some other challenges that you faced coming into college that was completely different and unexpected?
So for me, I since I'm from Colorado and I came to see you, I didn't think I would miss home because I thought it would like completely like feel the same,
Mm,
which I was a little nervous about, but no, it did not feel the same at all. Um, like living with roommates and like coming to it's still a different atmosphere, it's still a different city.
hmm.
Um, I still don't have my best friends by me all the time. So I think the biggest challenge for me was not expecting it to be as different from home as it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think Alokika probably relate with that too because she's from Colorado as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah.
How was your experience, Gavin?
My experience was similar and different because I'm from California. I talked about this a bit last podcast, but moving all the way across, or like from the coast to just the middle of the US, was a complete change. And I always thought that I wouldn't really miss my parents. I always thought that I would get into college and just start the race and go for it and I'd be perfectly fine. But I really found myself being homesick a lot. I felt myself like missing home, missing my old friends, missing the church I went to, missing out on so many things because a lot of my friends were still in high school. They had just gone into their senior year as I graduated. And so they had this whole experience that I was completely missing. And so it was rough for sure. The thing that really helped me was finding a good group of people. My roommate is awesome. All the other I live it's an apartment style. So there's 3 rooms inside of one apartment and we all share one big kitchen, we each have our bathrooms, whatever. And the group of guys that I'm in, the 6 of us, all grew really close. And so finding them was what helped me the most, but I really did miss my family a lot.
My story is kind of similar, but I don't have a roommate. So it's just me, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the luxury. I also have my own bathroom, guys, so yeah. But but yeah, like I think the first couple of months I was like maybe like cuz like when you go outside, especially cuz Boulder is such a big campus and like during the fall everyone's outside like playing and stuff and like getting to know each other and all that. And like I feel like once you have a roommate and if you click with your roommate, you kind of go everywhere with your roommate. So at
Mm,
a point it seemed like everybody already had a group and I didn't, which was I'm like I literally
right.
got here the exact same time as everybody else did and I don't understand what I did wrong. Like
Mm,
and that was
Yeah,
like a different type of feeling that I was just like, dang. But now it's all good. I think spring semester is always everyone's favorite.
mhm,
Like fall semester is always tricky for everybody in any like school grade. So, yeah.
for sure.
Something that was
right.
also very interesting for me when I came into college was making our own schedule because especially for college, like with your
Praise.
classes. Because in like high school, you just choose your classes. You don't really get to choose like what time and
Mm,
everything. So how was that for you guys?
So for me, I don't know about you, Alakika, but like my advisors my first semester made my schedule for me.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh.
I didn't have to pick any of my classes, but then second semester I obviously had to pick my classes. I didn't have a lot of choice because um I'm on a different schedule than everybody except the other first years who are in my same position. So I didn't have a lot of choice about when my classes were.
Yeah.
But I would say the tricky thing for me was like not having a set like you go to school from 7:30 to 3 every day. Like my class schedule is all over the place and I have all these like hour and a half, 2 hour breaks in between. So like on Tuesdays I'm literally on campus from 8 to 5. And I think that has been a really challenging part for me. Um, and I've definitely been able to find like a routine quicker second semester, but in the fall especially, it was really hard for me to find a routine with like oddly scheduled classes because it
Mhm.
wasn't like set, you go here, you go here, you go here, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. My schedule, I love being able to build my own schedules. The good thing about my situation is although I'm on track to graduate early and I don't have control over what classes I'm taking because everything is just like jam packed. There are a lot of different sections for each course. And so I can choose a Monday, Wednesday, or a Tuesday, Thursday class because CCU doesn't do classes on Fridays. And so we have those two sections. My first semester, I packed 4 classes on my Monday and Wednesday and 2 classes on my Tuesday, Thursday, just to try and get a feel for having one heavier day and one lighter day. And then this semester, I tried balancing it out. And then for next semester, I have every single one of my classes on Monday and Wednesday and no classes on Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh wow.
And so I definitely went all in to what I did last semester, where I just packed out one full day and I'll just designate a Tuesday or a Thursday to homework. And it even gives me an opportunity to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday if I need to. So I definitely have been loving making my own schedule. It's been the biggest blessing for me.
Yeah. I think another thing, like now that I'm like thinking about it, is something that people don't tell us, or like the importance of knowing good professors, like choosing good
Mm,
professors. And something that has helped me
yes.
and also been okay, I'm not gonna be like rate my professors the best, but there are it because I know like I've heard people say like it is the opposite for them, but I think rate my professor has really helped me like pick very good. But also I asked the people who have also taken like those professors before, but
Mhm.
definitely like for the people who are coming in fresh off college or fresh off high school, and like don't know anybody, I think that's like can be a good resource.
I 100%
Absolutely.
agree. I think that like talking to people, even if it's online and figuring out who are the good professors and who aren't is so important because having a good professor can make or break the entire class.
Mhm.
I'll give an example that me and Alokika had together. We had to take an econ class last semester, and our professor was not great. um, and I hated going to econ like every Tuesday, Thursday. I dreaded going. I wanted to leave like every second of that class. It felt so long. Um, and I was like, shoot, like I'm required to take another econ class. And now I have a much better professor. Um,
Mhm.
he works for me a lot better, and now I'm doing an econ minor. So it really
I don't know.
like it can really make or break a class for sure.
Yeah. I mean, my personal experience, I took an English class my fall semester, and I am not a fan of English, grammar, writing classes. It's just not my forte. And I was dreading going to that class, but I remember the very first class we had, our teacher had us rolling on the floor laughing. He was just hilarious. He was so passionate about English and made it so interesting. And so a silly little English lit class that I was dreading was an extremely fun class. I looked forward to going to English every Monday, Wednesday, even though I'm not an English major. He made it so fun. And so, definitely, any incoming freshman or anyone in college would agree. Take the good professor. Take the worst time slot to take a better professor, I would say. I think
Yeah.
it is so worth it.
100%. Yeah.
Wait, are you in Greek life? Are you part of Greek life,
I
Grace?
am not. Um, I did rush and it was not my thing. And this was actually so stressful for me because like you see all over like social media, like Bama Rush, like whatever, and like they make it seem like it will literally ruin your college experience if you're not in a sorority.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like putting all this pressure on myself. I was like, Grace, you have to like it or else you're not gonna have friends. And I like go into Rush first day. I go into 7 different sorority houses with all these girls like screaming at me. And I'm like, I can't. I like it just it was not for me. It didn't feel genuine. It didn't like feel like these like I just didn't feel like I connected with them in like a real way that I would if I was like naturally like meeting my friends. And so I decided to drop, which I was like, oh, and it was very stressful.
Yeah.
But um it ended up being fine. I mean, at least at Boulder, Greek life isn't like it's big, but it's not like gonna you don't have to be in Greek life to have friends.
Yeah.
Like I have
Mm,
friends who are in Greek life who aren't in Greek life and everybody just like coexists. It doesn't matter what sorority you're in or what frat you're in or like anything like that. So
Yeah.
um to any incoming freshmen that are thinking of rushing, know that it's not your make or break of college. And if it's your
right.
thing, fantastic. But if it's not, then it's not the end of the world. You'll still make
Mm,
friends. You'll still be able to have a good time on the weekends, stuff like
Literally.
that.
Like when I first started, I was like, oh my God, because nobody really told me what Greek life actually was. And actually, I haven't actually even had like a proper introduction to it. It's whatever I see on social media or what my friends do, because I have a couple friends who are in sororities and frats. And I mean, good for them. Like, they're doing it. They're having the best time of your life, but that does not mean that that is the only college experience that defines college experience, like there are so many things that you can do without being part of, Greek life, like just literally having your own friends and doing anything with them is as fun as being part of Greek life is what I think. Like Gavin has such amazing friends and they literally drive up to Nevada or not Nevada, Nebraska, sorry. And
Nebraska.
they have the best time of their life. Like guys, come on.
We do.
Yeah,
We have such a good friend group, but we don't have any Greek life at our school. We don't do frats or sororities, and we have a great time. We meet people, we have fun, and there's no pressure.
I think the
yeah,
biggest thing that like I have noticed is that we put these like we stage something called college life but in high school and others people do it for us. But then when we come to that staged college experience, we're like, what is this? Like,
literally. Yeah,
especially in the beginning, you're like, so I was told that this is gonna be my best 4 years of my life. Like, where, hello, is this it? Like, is this supposed to be it? So literally, I think everybody is called. That's why Gavin and I are so like we're so go into like making this podcast because of the different experiences and perspectives that people have on college. It's not a linear experience either, like there are going to be ups and downs, but the main part is the people you meet and the friends you make. And it doesn't have to be a friend group either. Like a lot of people have told me like, "Oh, I found my friend group in college." But to be quite honest, I don't have a friend group. I have individuals that I eat dinner with every week that are and they're different individuals that are close to my heart that care about me, I care about them, you know so it doesn't have to be anything that is written down or set in stone that you have heard of.
for sure. I think I also like tried to like join other organizations. And at CU in the business school, there are like fraternities, they're co-ed, but they're business specific. So in the spring, um, my friend was rushing it, so she was like, "Yeah, you may as well." I loved it. It was like it felt like my people, but I didn't end up getting in,
Oh.
and that rejection sucked. And like my friend who was rushing got in, and I have other friends like in my classes who are in it, and they talk about it and I'm like, oh, can't relate. So
Mhm.
I think that rejection can kind of feel isolating at times too, because they're like, oh, what did I do wrong, whatever. um and I'm still working through that, honestly, but I think you just have to like realize that it's not the end all be all, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense. That sounds rough. I mean, it does happen. What would you say to someone coming in as a freshman maybe next year or this semester that's gonna go through the same thing that you went through, where they were excited to go through something, they didn't quite get it? I know you said it isn't the end all be all, but if you have anything else to add to that.
um I like literally think I have the worst luck. Like if I will like want something so bad, you know how people are like manifest it? That doesn't work for me, right?
Mhm.
So like I honestly like it's happened to me a lot like throughout my life, even like little things like running for like student president in like elementary school. I did that, didn't get it, like whatever. Um so I would just say like feel your feelings. Like it's so
Mm,
valid, and if you feel like your friends like got in and you didn't, and you like feel, I think it's a self-worth thing. Like I think what's easier for me because like I know that I am so capable of other things, and like not getting into a certain like organization is not defining like my personal worth. And I think that takes a lot more than just like saying it to like actually believe it. And that's something that's taken me years to work through. But I think you just have to like find your confidence and find your self-worth, and that
mm.
will help a lot in those situations.
Yeah, that's really good advice. You just know who you are. College is, at the end of the day, a time to kind of find yourself, figure out who you are, what you were meant to do, all of that. And so if something doesn't work out, wasn't meant to work out.
Yeah.
Exactly. What are some of your guys' like favorite college experience so far that you love about college?
Oh, I'm gonna have to think. Do you have one in mind, Alakika?
It's okay, it's not like that fancy. It's like the simplest thing. But I just love going to dinners with friends. That's
Mm,
like my favorite because every day of the week I am literally slammed with like work and classes and like back-to-back meetings. And then I always like every day have that like 5 to 7 time slot for my friends. And I'm like, you want to go to dinner? And they're like, yeah, I'm down. And then I go. And then we talk about the
yeah.
literal randomest thing. They'll tell me about their day, the drama in their life, you know. I tell them about mine, and it's just the best feeling ever because it feels like there is somebody who is willing to listen to you, and they think of you the same way, you know? And it's just I think that's the best way. I haven't done anything crazy yet, like or I haven't witnessed anything crazy yet with my friends, but this one has to be my favorite so far. What about you?
For me, I'd say like the same thing. Like on the weekends, if me and my friends don't want to go out, we just like stay in and like I'm definitely like a work hard, play hard kind of person. So I like to cram all of my assignments like and finish it by the weekend so I can just chill
Yep.
and not have to think about school for the weekend. That's how I am.
Yep.
Um, and so like getting to the weekend and just having fun with your friends and not having a care in the world is like the best feeling. And
Hmm.
I feel like on those nights where we don't go out and we just stay in and we just be goofy, it's so fun.
Yeah.
And like going to like I don't get along with my roommate great. We have very different lives. So we're not like best friends, but like my best friends live 2 floors like up from me, and I'm in there almost every night, and we're just like joking around and like having a good time, and like that's I think that's what I'm gonna remember about college more than like anything else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So usually we to wrap it up almost, usually our guest speakers are like either juniors or seniors. So we ask them like an advice they would give to their like freshman self. So for you, we're gonna do the opposite.
Okay.
And we're gonna what do you okay, we're gonna cut this part out. Like a little part. What do you want to say to your future self that you hope to be at
man.
in like the next 4 years?
Yeah. Oh, I feel like this is like insane, but I feel like I'm already like so sure of like who I am, who I want to be. I'm probably
Mhm.
gonna look
Mhm.
back in 4 years and be like, girl, you did not know what you were talking about at all whatsoever. Like you think you had it all figured out. No, you don't. Um, so I just kind of like wanna I wanna have completed college, like feeling like excited to work because I think everybody told me because I was also on a track to graduate early, and
Mhm.
everyone's like, stay in
Mhm.
college. It's the best time of your life. Then you just have to work. But like, I want to be excited to work. I want to be excited to like
Right.
get out of college and like do what the things that I'm passionate about and stuff like that. And like, I want to have my friends that like, I just want to look back on college and have it be like a great experience, but like not like the best 4 years of my life. Like, kind of this is only the
Exactly.
beginning type thing.
I love that. I love that thinking because it's like college doesn't only have to be your best 4 years of your life. Like starting of your workforce or like work career or like anything can be the best years of your life. So I love that thinking. But I guess we are done for today. Even though, I mean, I could talk to you forever. But
For sure.
we do need to wrap it up. But thank you so much, Grace. We are so glad that you came on
Yeah.
and talked about your experience because I definitely know that there are people out there who can resonate and
Mhm.
can find ways to help themselves with the stories that you told. So thank you so much. But this was College
Yes.
Lens. We are so excited to share Grace's story with you, and we hope you liked this episode. We will see you next time. Bye.